What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And for today, I wanted to do a comparison between these three characters: Iron Man, Iron Hammer, and Thor, the God of Thunder. Now, right off the bat, I know some of you guys are going to say this is not a fair comparison. How could you be comparing a tier 1 to a tier 2 and a tier 3 character? And to those of you guys, let me just say this is not meant to be a fair comparison. I just thought it would be fun and interesting to see how well my tier 1 Iron Hammer performs compared to my tier 2 Iron Man and my tier 3 Thor. However, to make this as interesting as possible, I'm actually going to be removing Iron Man's uniform and we're going to be testing out his base kit compared to Iron Hammer. Same thing will be done for Thor. So I think this will make things a little bit more interesting because we all know that Thor in this uniform is an absolute monster that can destroy everything in the game. However, the base kit for Thor is really not that good. Same goes for Iron Man. Iron Man in his Infinity War uniform is a freaking DPS monster. However, take that uniform away from him and what you have is a very lackluster base kit, right? So we're going to be doing a comparison between these three characters just like this. And I want you guys to see the level of difference that the uniform makes for these characters, believe me. So what we're going to do is take them all into ABX. I'll show you how I have Iron Man set up first, then we'll run it with him, and then we'll do the same thing for the other two characters. So this is what Iron Man's stats look like. I've been slacking on Iron Man for a very long time, and eventually I'll finish him up. Even now, I don't have any Urus on this guy, even though I know that in his Infinity War uniform, he's an absolute monster, right? Skills are all at 6 though, and he's rocking Power of Angry Hulk. This right here is not really that good, but it's effective for Iron Man. Immunity to guard break, some crit rate, and a 130 damage proc. Like I said, we're going to be running him without the uniform. So let's go ahead and jump into ABX and I'll show you guys how he performs. Now, I will not lie to you guys, this is the very first time I have ever attempted to use Iron Man with no uniform in ABX. And even with his Infinity War uniform, I can't even remember if I've ever used him in ABX, right? So I have no idea what to expect here in terms of an overall score. However, because he has multiple iframes and a guard, he should ideally stay alive if I can manage to dodge the Frost Breath and dodge the Roar. It's going to be interesting to see how much his DPS falls from not having the uniform. Can't lie though, even with this team, I don't think he's going to break 150, right? Which is pretty sad. And a big part of it is lack of AoE. And obviously, his damage, base damage, is just not good. The guard on the Frost Beast is definitely not helping either. But that shouldn't be an excuse for him because the other character is going to go through the same obstacle as well. I'm trying to see if I can line up the damage proc on the 4 or the 5 since those seem to do the most amount of damage. Yeah, it looks like we're only going to be able to get maybe like 110,000, maybe 120. Yo, tier 2 Iron Man, guys. Yo, the sad part is none of his skills are strong enough to kill all the mobs in one go. Like, if all the mobs get hit by the 5, it doesn't kill them. But if they get hit by the missile, it just doesn't kill them. Like, none of his skills are strong enough to clear all the ads. Look at that. Yo, that is actually hilarious, guys. Yo, that was close. We almost killed all the mobs. Safe to say, if I didn't have the immunity to guard break, yeah, this would be a lot more difficult. Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna get maybe 130 with Iron Man. Yo, even the Unibeam couldn't even kill one single guy. Yo, hold up. Woo! Oh my goodness. I thought we were in an iframe there. We got bodied, guys. Wow. He basically just got one-shotted by the roar. Oh my goodness. That's Iron Man, boys. That's Iron Man. 120,000 tier 2 Iron Man with She-Hulk lead and Phil Coulson. That's actually pretty sad. I can't lie. Alright guys, so next up is going to be Iron Hammer, so I'll give you a brief look at the details, and if you pay close attention right here, you'll notice that with the exception of his energy attack obviously being lower since he's at tier 1, the rest of his stats actually look pretty similar to my Iron Man, and that's actually funny because his gears are still at 15, and that's not for a lack of biometrics. You can see for yourself right here, I have 669, so at any point I can get his gears to 20 and immediately tier 2 him. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Eventually though I will. And you can see for yourself right here, skills are all at 6 and I have Power Frank Hulk. Slightly better ISO set, but it's the same one nonetheless. And he has a slightly better damage proc right here, a 140 damage proc with lightning damage equipped to it. Alright boys, so we're going to be running it with Lincoln in the lead, Phil Coulson, and we're going to let Iron Hammer do his thing. Keep in mind, Iron Man tier 2 only managed to put up 120,000. Could he put up more if I had a better build for him? Sure. Keep in mind, Iron Hammer, 15 gears. Similar setup, okay? And you're gonna see for yourself just how much better Iron Hammer does. It's actually crazy. Like, the scope of characters... Ooh, I got guard broken there. The scope of characters that we're getting now compared to what we got with the base game for Marvel Future Fight, it's just unreal, guys. Seriously. Like, not only is he safer, much more fun, he's actually significantly stronger. Oh, and he has a heal. Seriously. Like, it just intrigues me to think, what are we gonna see from characters if this game is alive for another 2, maybe 3 years? Seriously. Are we gonna be at a point where we're looking back at tier 1 characters that are as awesome as Iron Hammer and thinking, wow, they're so weak? Because that's what I'm thinking about freaking Iron Man right about now, guys. Granted, Iron Man has his uniform that will definitely make him significantly stronger. But if we're talking base kit, tit for tat, Iron Hammer all day, every day. And I'm pretty sure that even if Iron Man was at tier 3, without a uniform, he'd probably still lose to a tier 2 Iron Hammer, right? That's just sad. And if Iron Man's survivability ever gets better than it is, I'll definitely consider tier 3 him. Because his damage is good, it's just his survivability is not to my liking. If they gave him a heal, like they did for Iron Hammer, then I could rock with it. But I think my next tier 3 is gonna be T'Challa. Can't sleep on the king, guys. So at this pace, it looks like we're gonna put up double what Iron Man got. And this is not even a good run. And honestly, looking at this, I'm thinking maybe I should actually just go ahead and tier 2 Iron Hammer. That way I can start testing him out a little bit more and see how he performs in World Boss Ultimate. Yo, that roar. I wish I had just tanked that roar because I wanted to see if it would have killed him like it killed Iron Man. Okay, so we got 251. So more than double what we got with a tier 2 Iron Man, okay? That's crazy, boys. Last but not least is going to be the Thunder God himself. And it's actually hilarious how many ranks I dropped by not having my mythic uniform on my Thor. I was actually in the top 3,000. However, because I took that uniform off, you can see for yourself, 12,000 in the world. That's crazy how much of a difference the uniform makes. This is what his overall build looks like. You can see for yourself, Thor is actually in a really good place even without the uniform equipped on him, right? However, the base kit, damage and survivability is nothing compared to the Infinity War uniform, and you're going to see that for yourself. He has Urus, skills are all at 6, and he actually has Power of Fang Hulk and is half awakened. Right here, we're rocking a CTP of destruction with immunity to guard break, critical damage, and he can penetrate everything. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, oh, Thor doesn't need a CTP of destruction, and that's true. You could give him immunity to guard break, lightning damage, or crit damage, and a damage proc, and you're golden. Personally, for me though, I like to use Thor in timeline battle from time to time, and having the ability to penetrate invincibility is actually very beneficial. Alright boys, so same team composition as we did for Iron Hammer. Lincoln in the lead, Phil Coulson, and it's gonna be about Thor. Now, one of the hardest things for me when it comes to playing with Thor without any uniform is trying to remember that I don't have any iframes, and all I really have for survivability is the guard on the 5th skill, and I don't have any damage immunity, because oftentimes, basically all the time for me anyways, whenever I trigger the tier 3 skill, I'll follow up with the 5th skill, right? But now I actually have to space it out. I have to use the tier 3, then use a couple other skills, and then use the 5th skill. Or use the 5th skill, then use a couple other skills, then use the tier 3 skill. Otherwise, I'm gonna get bodied by the Frost Beast. Ooh. I thought the road would have taken off much more of my HP there, but it didn't, so that's good. So it looks like we're gonna get about 450 with Thor. Keep in mind, my tier 1 Iron Hammer put up 250, right? That's with 15 gears. Thor has gear 25, Urus, and one of the best CTPs in the game. It just goes to show you, man, the level of characters that we're getting now compared to what we're getting when the game first came out. It's actually pretty unreal. Because honestly, I feel like if my Thor was built similar to how my Iron Man was built, he'd probably lose to Iron Hammer as well. Right? And that's coming from a die-hard Thor fan. Sad. Keep in mind, this Thor with his mythic uniform can get 1.5 million on this day. So just by taking away his uniform, it looks like we're taking away 2/3 of his score. That's actually pretty freaking insane. Because it looks like we might touch 500. Let me see. We're gonna be super reckless here and just stay close to him. And generally, the 5th skill does more damage than the tier 3. But I'm not even sure if the 5th skill, no uniform, can compare. Ooh, that was close. Thought that was gonna kill me. Yeah, we're definitely not gonna make it to 500. Okay, boys, so 480, right? 480. Like I said, the uniform for these characters make a big difference. And honestly, boys, if my Thor didn't have a CTP and he didn't have Urus and he wasn't tier 3, I honestly think he would have lost the Iron Hammer as well. That's actually crazy, boys. But that's all for this one, man. Just wanted to share some gameplay using these characters without their uniforms and show you how they compare to Iron Hammer. Because Iron Hammer is definitely one of the best characters in the game and one of the best free-to-play characters we've gotten in a very long time. In my opinion, definitely up there with the likes of Sharon Rogers, no doubt. But I'm out, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.